opportunity. So I'm going to present the case study of biofuel development in Indonesia. And probably this presentation is combined two of our projects. So the team project leader is Sonny Yuliar, but he cannot come to this meeting. Okay, so the outline of my presentation is overview of the project. And then there's, before this research on inclusive biofuel innovation in Indonesia, we have a research project on research of knowledge system. And then the lesson learned from the previous project, and then after that, and then I'm going to present about the scientists in the society, how the scientist deals with the society, and also about the representation problem, because in the previous presentation and also about the framework, we can see that all of the university is seen as a one big unit, but inside the university itself, there's a lot of scientists, and each scientist have different kind of network. So I'm going to see that, and also the bottom-up innovation, biofuel project finding, and some discussion about the project. So this is the previous project about research of knowledge system. So in 2002, Indonesia have a shifting regulation about the university. So initially the university get funding from the national budget, but after 2002, Indonesian universities start to become an autonomous university. And as consequences, they cut the budget of the research, and then the university have to find their budget from industry, for example, and other stuff. So there's a lot of shifting inside the university itself. So in this project, we have a different kind of case studies. We research the case study of biotechnology and also defense technology, and there's a different kind of stakeholders. Like for example, I will focus on rural ICT and biotechnology. They have a very different kind of network. So for ICT, you can put something, and we build it upon the appropriate technology program. And by the end of the project, the technology itself can sustain, but then the idea of having an appropriate technology where the farmers can involve and that kind of stuff doesn't really run well. So the technology is there, but then they use it for the consumptive things rather than share their knowledge about probably the season and that kind of stuff. It's more like consumptive technology rather than productive technology that is being designed. And then for the biotechnology, we're focusing on 3 scientists. This is the biofuel scientist. So we observe our method is more qualitative thing. So we are doing more ethnography rather than quantitative method. And we are observing 3 scientists with 3 different kind of network. As you can see, we compare 3 scientists, and the first scientist network is more to the policymakers. So the way he's developing this network is more to politics. So he's using the rhetoric as pro-poor, pro-growth, pro-job, and that kind of thing. And the second one is focused more on community-based development. So the second scientist involved in many kind of projects that involve directly to the poor people. And the third one is the teaching part. So in this case study, we're focusing on how the scientists collaborate with their student, and their student become an entrepreneur. So in this comparison, you can see that the first scientists are more researchers, because he researched something, but then he have a very good political access, so he can connect to in this case, he connect directly to the president, and then through the president, he can propose kind of a national program for the national biofuel program. So it's really in the national project, and they have very great funding for that. So it's a very great in the perspective that it's come directly from the scientists and then to the presidents, and then they have a very huge business and grant for this. The second one is more community based. So what he's doing is have a group, and the scientists say it also belongs to the scientist B group. So he's working with the community, and the technology that has been invented is more like biogas and also biofuel for small scale. And the third one is the scientist who's working as an entrepreneur. So this is more like a spin-off for the second network. So the type of the network of the entrepreneur is it's more hybrid, so it's a combination between dependent and interdependent. Because in one sense, he's still dependent to the network that the scientist B has. But on the other hand, he's more community related. He sells things, he sells biogas in this case. And then now through biogas, he also have a coordination directly to the local governments. And also want to focus on the issue of local governments and national governments because they have a very different kind of funding. It's also matter in having a core technology project, because whether you want to focus at the national level or on the local level, it's very different network. So this is the bottom-up innovation. This is already entering the second project because we are focusing on the biofuel. So if in the initial phase you want to see whether the university have a very convergence pattern, and then the conclusion from the first project state that we have a very different kind of network even in the university. So initially we try to compare 3 universities, and then okay, it's different, and then we try to compare within one university, and it's also different. So now we're focusing on the sector of biofuel because biofuel and ICT is also different. So it's very difficult to have a framework, and if you want to be a framework, then you're talking about purification because you want to make it very general. But then if you want to apply it, then you have to be very focused and sector specific. So this is the bottom-up innovation, and this pattern is following the third scientist, where he's not involved with one of the university. He graduated from Gajah Mada University, and then after that he built a biofuel reactor plant where he involved different kind of actors. So this is a business of nyamplung. Nyamplung is the Latin name of nyamplung is calophyllum, and the business model is quite alike with Jatroba. So so this is where he involved the woman and the children because it's quite easy. The trees of nyamplung is very big, and then to harvest it, you can only use a shrek, and then you can have it. So the labor who's working on nyamplung is the woman and the children, and this is good in the sense that they can seek the nyamplung every time they return from school. And for the woman itself, it has a relation because most of the money goes for the man. And then by having this kind of business, then the money can also go to the women and give additional income for them. And also the product have additional product like byproduct, like the color for batik. And also the person, the businessman that I'm working with, he also built the kind of additional project. Like that one is disabled, so that is for coloring the batik, and then that's a disabled community. So this is our biofuel project findings, the opportunity for bottom of the pyramid groups, income farmers, rural housewife, other informal practitioner, informal interaction upon new opportunities. In most cases, biofuel markets have not taken place durably, weak interacting among supply side and demand side actors, so there's still a lot of problem in the project because it's initially being promoted by the national government, but then there's falling, and then there's an initiative from the local government, so it's up and down between local governments, national governments, and the entrepreneur. And the discussion is supporting bottom-up innovation is either bricolage versus breakthrough, whether we have to really focus on what the farmers and the entrepreneur has to do, and also protection versus exclusion and scaling up, because in our case the protection lead to issues like whether we have to really protect the business, the small medium enterprise business, and whether we have to exclude other actors. For example, we have the entrepreneur and also the stove entrepreneur, and if we want to protect one of the entrepreneur, it will exclude the other one. So what kind of issue should we deal with to combine this kind of small medium entrepreneur? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.